Hey y'all, it's Stacey. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making something that is a breakfast favorite at our house. This is my recipe for blueberry muffins, or better yet, my grandmother's recipe for blueberry muffins. We call them Nana's Best blueberry muffins. To get started, I've got 2 cups of plain all-purpose flour in a large bowl here. I'm going to add a cup of regular granulated sugar. I've got a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Just gonna whisk those together, and we're gonna set that aside to get our wet ingredients together. Here I've got 1 cup of regular fat sour cream, 2 eggs, a half a cup of vegetable oil, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and about a half a teaspoon of almond extract. Now, this doesn't have a strong almond flavor, but in our testing in the kitchen, we found that the almond just makes the blueberries taste a little blueberrier, I guess you could say. Once this is combined, we're gonna mix our wet ingredients with our dry ingredients. Now, it's important when you're making things like muffins and quick breads that we don't over stir our ingredients. When you stir wet ingredients with flour, that creates gluten, and gluten makes things chewy or tough. We certainly don't want chewy or tough muffins, so we want to stir this just as little as possible. All we want is for everything to be moistened. You can even see a few clumps of flour in there, and it's all going to work out perfectly fine. I've got a 12-count muffin tin here lined with muffin papers. You don't have to do that, but we like doing that. It makes them just a little bit easier to get out of the pan. Now, time for our blueberries. We're gonna use about a cup of blueberries, and you've probably heard people say that if you toss your blueberries in a little bit of flour before you put them in, it's gonna keep them from sinking to the bottom of the berries, or to the bottom of the muffins. We actually didn't find that to be the case, but what we did realize is that if you take a small scoop like this and put a little batter in the bottom of each cup before you mix the berries in, that's gonna give you a little cushion to keep those berries from sinking all the way to the bottom. We're gonna add our berries here, fold this together, and get this right in our cups. Using a disher or a large cookie scoop helps to keep the amount uniform and helps to keep from making a huge mess. Once we've got this all in here, we're gonna sprinkle the tops of our muffins with a little turbinado sugar. You could use regular sugar for this too. It's just gonna give them a little crunch. We've got our oven preheated to 375 degrees. These are gonna cook for 25 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. And here you go, fresh blueberry muffins. Folks, you can find this full recipe and hundreds more on my website at southernbite.com. Just visit the Simply Southern section. Y'all enjoy.
Even though those are called Nana's Best Blueberry Muffins, Stacey says on his website that his grandmother confided that the recipe actually came from her sister. So they're really Aunt Peggy's blueberry muffins.
Well, the secret is out now. And whatever you call them, they're really great. I suggest you visit southernbite.com before you bake, because Stacey always includes tips, like the one about how to keep your blueberries from sinking to the bottom of the muffin.
Absolutely. Once again, the clock is caught up with us, so we'll have to run. But I hope you'll be back with us at the same time next week. We'll tell you about a North Alabama farmer who, for years, anonymously helped people he didn't even know and took his secret to the grave.
And you'll meet an Alabama craftsman who keeps cowboys comfortably riding high. I'm Mary Wilson.
And I'm Kevin Worthington. We'll see you then.
Simply Southern is produced by the Alabama Farmers Federation and made possible with the support of Alabama Farmers Cooperative and these sponsors.